She goes, soon enough, everyone at this school is going to know what a bad little girl you are. And I was like, what? Guess whose contract didn't get renewed? Bow, bow, bow. That's what happens when you pay
Jocelyn got a teacher fired.
Hello friends, welcome back to Shared Channel. Today, Lily and I are oversharing solo status because I feel like we really need to get to know each other.
Yeah, we're new friends, if you couldn't tell. No, actually guys, this is the official last episode of season 1.
Yes, because we have some very exciting stuff coming down the pipeline, some big announcements coming, and an exciting start to season 2. Honestly, we're just taking a few weeks off.
I was like, honestly, it's just a couple weeks and we just filmed like a lot and we just need a little break. But we'll be back, so make sure you're subscribed because there's gonna be more guests, more topics, more all of the things.
Season 2, bigger, bolder, more fantastic.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's the goal. But today, Lily and I are going to be talking about something that is like super relevant right now, or was relevant like a few weeks ago, or is not relevant for us at all.
Not relevant to us.
No, but it's a part of our history and who we are as people.
It's back
to school.
Yes. Back to school time is not, it hasn't been a relative time for us.
I don't really remember.
I'm literally not speaking.
I don't recall going back to school very well. Do you?
I think I still have like PTSD from it.
Why?
To be honest.
Did you hate going back to school?
Yeah. It was like exciting because like you got to see your friends that you don't see on a regular basis. But school, I'm so glad it's done.
Same, 100%. I do remember going back to school for the first time and moving into the dorms at college. That was one of the best days of my entire life.
See, that's back to school for me. I don't think of college. I think of high school.
Same.
For sure.
So let's start at the beginning. Elementary school. For me, the biggest thing for sure was always my back to school outfits. It was a very big deal for me. I loved school supply shopping. I wanted to have the best hair day possible. It was very stressful.
If you don't like school supply shopping, something's wrong.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what it is about pens and like new binders. I like using pens, but I didn't like using most of the supplies afterwards, but it was so fun to stock up on them.
Another thing very important, where's your seat in the classroom? Where are you seated? Who are you next to? Is there someone cute sitting next to you? Are you in the last row? Are you in the front row? Where did you get put?
I'm trying to remember because like in high school, all I can think of is that like none of the class, like our class sizes were so big that there weren't enough seats for everyone and some people had to sit on the floor for the first 2 weeks.
Oh my God, Lily.
We had like 45 people in a class.
Is that elementary school? No.
No, it was like middle school and high school, I think.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this PTSD that you have from going back to school. Let's unpack that. Let's talk about it.
Where did you sit? I was like, why are you interviewing me? You talk.
Okay, so I went to a very small private school for elementary school. Basically, I was in a class with the same kids from kindergarten all the way to 6th grade. And even though you would think like, oh, it's like the same people every single year, there was still like a certain like almost like Christmas Day excitement about going back to school.
Well, it's because you don't do anything hard the first day, so it's not like you're stressed about the schoolwork yet. It's just like newness.
And there's also like at that age, when you're in elementary school and even all the way through high school, like you come back to school and everybody looks a lot different.
See, I don't remember that being huge. Like
I do.
I feel like in movies, it's like mostly the girls come back and it's like, they had a hot girl summer and then they come back and it's like, oh my gosh, I grew up and grew boobs. I don't feel like that ever happened necessarily, I guess, in the 3 months of summer. I think it gradually happened like during the year. I never noticed anyone looking that different.
I would say though, like to get back to the original question of where did I sit, I was always in the back of the class because I was very well behaved. Because I'm still scared of my parents.
That feels like you would sit in the front of the class then.
No. They put the kids who are like troublemakers more towards the front so they can like whip them into shape. Or maybe that was just in my school.
Did you choose where you sat or
No, very much assigned.
A lot of the time we got to choose. I would strategically, if we did get to choose, I would always go like against a wall or somewhere where I could like do the like leaning and like you pretend that you're like studying or something and you're actually just asleep.
In elementary school?
Oh no. I mean, I don't remember elementary school. That was a long time ago.
Same. Well, I mean, obviously for me, it was like truly in the early 1900s, basically.
Like elementary school, I feel like you sit at like a large, like round table. It's not like desks or anything.
I had desks. Again, though, I went to a crazy school. But middle school is when things got like way more traumatic. I feel that middle school is the most, and maybe if you guys are watching and you're in middle school, I don't think many people are, truly the most traumatic period of my life.
Why?
I just felt like so stressed out all the time. Like, what if I wear black pants and no one else wears black pants? Are we all gonna wear black pants on the same day? Like, what if I show up and my bangs aren't looking good? What if my bracelets have food in them? What if I can't find my class? Like, stressed about everything.
You saying like, oh, or like, am I gonna be the only one wearing these pants? Did you ever for like crazy hair day or like pajama day?
Yes.
Halloween even. I was always convinced that I would get out of the car and I would be the only one that dressed up. And it was always the most nerve-wracking thing ever.
A lot of, in that era of time, even in early high school, there was a lot of planning. Like when I was in high school in the 90s, it was like very in style to wear these like, it's kind of in style now, like these skin tight black, almost like bell bottom boot cut style pants. But we would only, like me and all my girl squad, we'd all be like, on Friday, everyone's wearing black pants. And we would all wear these black pants. We'd like call it like Black Pant Friday. And on
Friday.
on Friday, yeah, on Fridays we'd like dress up. I don't know if it was so that we could like try to
on Fridays, we wear black.
That is 100% what it was. It was so
That's weird.
Yeah, that lasted only a very short amount of time for me because I was like, this is way too much work.
One thing we did do in high school was there would be like our rallies that you go to, and the senior girls, like the different friend groups, not all of them, it was like one or two usually, would make t-shirts and then we'd wear them to the rallies.
Yeah.
So there were 21 of us and we were Tank 21.
That was a big thing at my high school too. There was like cliques and you had names for your cliques. Like my clique was called 7 Up because there were 7 of us and we wouldn't accept anyone else. This was also when I was like super young and then I was like, this is dumb. And I was like, I'm out of here. There was another clique in my grade called Jugs, just us girls.
That's right. Well, that's even us being Tank 21. We would have to be like, no, Tank, because like there's so many of us that we move. Like, I don't know. It was for drinking.
And okay. So yeah, no, I was definitely did not enter my like fun party phase until I was in college.
That was like my sister. She didn't drink at all in high school, and then
it's illegal
because you shouldn't. She didn't drink at all in high school, and then she went to college, and I was still in high school, and then she introduced me early. It was when I was 16. It was the day before Halloween. No, not Halloween. Day before Thanksgiving.
That's always Dark Wednesday. What do they call it?
Black Wednesday. Yeah, Black Wednesday. We then woke up in the morning, super hungover. My car was at her friend's house where we had been drinking, and she then told my mom as if my mom would think it was funny as well.
Mom did not think it was funny.
She's like, oh my God, Mom, Lily's so hungover. I got a drunk last night.
My
I'm
parents
16, and my mom
would
was like,
murder me.
What?
No.
And she didn't speak to either of us the rest of the day.
You're like,
And I threw up several times.
oh, you're still recovering.
It was a rough Thanksgiving.
What about grades? Because I get the impression that as far as like scholastics go, you're probably like my sister. My sister never tried that hard in school ever until maybe she went to grad school, and then that was the first time I ever saw her do homework. But she would always like get straight A's, like without trying at all. And I was always the person who had to like work so hard. And I only had like one bad quarter of my whole life where I just like
what's
let it
bad
out.
though?
I got like, so this is in college actually. It was when I was like living in the sorority house, going through a breakup, literally would like be in class and just be like, I'm leaving. And I would just like walk out of like lectures and be like, I'm gonna go to the pub on campus. I got like a lot of C's, which your girl is like A's only my whole life. And it brought my whole GPA down. I still regret it.
Well, that's what happened to me in high school, and that's why I ended up at ASU.
So everything's full circle.
You know, I don't remember when letter grades started. Is that just middle school? In
I always
elementary
had
school.
letter
I feel like
grade.
we had like weird like
like E's
check
and
plus.
O's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
E's and O's. It's like,
excellent, outstanding.
good job for
I'm like, those are
trying.
synonyms. How did you categorize them?
what do elementary schools do now? Why am I asking you
Let
that?
us know, people watching. Do you have kids? Because I hope that there's no one from
I
elementary
truly hope
school
there's
watching.
no. My brother's a kindergarten teacher now.
Perfect. Ask him.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Oh my
But he would.
gosh.
That makes.
But
so
it
much
really
sense.
makes a lot of sense. My whole entire family are teachers.
But I got all A's through middle school for sure, and I definitely was like, I wasn't like not trying. It's not like I would not show up to things, but like I wasn't like really like going above and beyond.
Oh, I was truly on another level. It's all I cared about. Most stressful time of my life was high school because I was just like, if I mess up in high school, my whole life will be ruined.
Well, they do make you
I
think
won't-
that.
And it's so funny because I didn't end up getting into the college I wanted to really go to anyways. I
Where'd
got
you wanna
rejected
go?
from UCLA. And I got into really good schools still. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't go to UCLA because basically college is what like started my whole path for me with all the people I met.
Well, I mean,
and like the connections I
that's
made.
how it always goes. Cause like
Yeah.
same, like I never thought I would end up at ASU and I didn't want to go there. And then I ended up being like, okay, well, I guess. And then met all these friends, and even still, like I'll have random connections of people that I went to school with for opportunities, work related or friend related or whatever.
It's like it honestly.
It never goes how you expect.
It does matter, and I think like trying hard at something is important, whether it's like whatever your passion is.
But
or
if it
like
doesn't
school.
happen
Don't
for
freak
trying,
out.
then it's not the end of the world.
No, you find if one door doesn't open, climb through a window or the doggy door or whatever. What about like science fairs or like book fairs? Did you win any of that stuff?
Oh my God, no, but
Film
you just
editing
made me-
contests.
So I taught myself to edit in high school.
On what?
Premiere.
Okay. Wow. I thought you were gonna be like iMovie.
No, I was telling Fiona
Excuse
this.
me.
I had Fiona come over yesterday. I was teaching her some things, and it was like very much that I didn't do it as like, I was never in like clubs or like doing, I did stuff like for our school rallies, but that was like not, that was like the most school involved thing I did. I was just like doing stuff on my own, like making music videos with friends, but I did it like, I couldn't afford a Mac at the time, and Premiere was available on PCs.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't ever learn Final Cut. But we had this like old Dell, and then I learned how to like use BitTorrent, which is,
How you steal music, right?
it was like, it's very complicated and hard to explain, but basically it was like how I downloaded illegal programs for
See,
free.
she's such a nerd.
And then I would have
Nerds
like
rule the
serial
world.
killer. I said that yesterday too. Serial number generators. So it's
Serial
like,
killers would come over. It was pretty cool.
but it's like a little app that you literally are like generate, and it gives you the key for the product that you would have had to spend like hundreds of dollars
Truly,
on.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's great.
But I'm very impressed.
So that's what I did in high school. But then
That's
that's my grades started going down. I went to ASU, didn't do anything for 4 years, had a great time.
And look where she is now, kids.
Here I am.
I was on the opposite path where I was like, I must study 74 hours a week. I was like in a study group. I started a study group with like the smartest guy in my whole grade, who I wonder where he is.
I'm just thinking you're mean girl.
He like
in
went
him,
to
where
Ivy
it's
League, like he's probably like a doctor of something now. Flynn Craddy, are you watching this? Highly
Flynn
doubtful.
Craddy.
Sweetest guy ever. Me and Flynn Craddy and Chris Goebel were like the coolest study group. We started for AP classes studying together, and I would not be where I am today without those two. And then we allowed our study group to grow, and it was like a very like hip study group. It was cool. That's what I did in high school. I was obviously a nerd.
I always think of like the science fair stuff. My friend Lawrence would always win. That bitch.
I don't think I ever even did a science fair.
She wasn't good at science or anything. Her mom would do them for her, and I was always like, Jackie did that.
No,
I
my
know
parents
it.
would never do
My mom
anything for me,
I
ever.
also
Morally
learned-
opposed.
I learned very early not to bring my mom anything that I worked on because
Oh, my parents couldn't do it. They were like home ec majors and music majors. They'd be like, "Well, you need to hire a tutor."
Oh, I would like give my mom my book report, and she'd be like 2 words in, suddenly it's like red everywhere, and I'm like, so I don't need you to proofread it because you're just gonna rewrite it in a way that I don't need.
Actually, though, fun story is my sister, the one I referenced earlier, when she was in 8th grade and I was in 10th grade, we both had like homework assignments and they were hard for us. And I was like, hey, like, what are the chances we could switch homework? And she was in 8th grade and I was in Honors English 10, which is like one of the hardest teachers at my school. She got me a B. That little 8th grader got me a B, and I would have had to struggle for it. And now we've admitted, like, but my sister was like you. She got paid to do people's homework.
I was just gonna say, well, I mean, in
And
college,
now
they
she's a
literally,
teacher.
I had
It's
a few
very
friends that would
unethical.
pay me, and I'd be like, it's not like I could be like, what? I know in Shameless, one of the characters used to take like SATs or like he'd write papers. He'd be like, what kind of grade do you want? So he'd like dumb it
Yes,
down.
that's what my sister
like,
did too.
I didn't know how to fluctuate the grade, or I would be like, I hope this gets an A, but I was like the queen of writing essays. I think I'm not I have
You're a
decent
great
grammar,
writer.
and
You're a great
I'm a pretty
writer.
good writer, so then it would be like, as long as I kind of know what I'm talking about, I could just bullshit the rest of it. I would literally like, it would be like writing a term paper on 3 movies that I was supposed to watch and analyze. Well, what you do is you just Google other
just
people
Google
who've
what-
already analyzed the movie, read all of those, take all the best parts,
You're
and then
so
make
lucky.
up your own.
I went to college before the internet was like a thing. So I had to actually like do the word.
I would be screwed if the internet didn't exist.
Like I had to go to the library and do something where like you pull up old newspapers on some weird film system. It was like very complicated.
Do you want to know what me and Caroline used to do?
Oh my gosh, I'm probably gonna be mad, like retrospectively, yes.
So in college, it was like a general ed, like health class or something. And you could use, it was like an open book test. But the question,
great.
And it was an online class.
Even
better.
better.
So great. So we would help each other during it. But also the questions were never in the same order, so you couldn't like take it together.
You couldn't totally copy.
So we would go to the library and we would take, so we could use the book, but like the test would be on like 8 chapters. So it's like, there's no way.
It's impossible to
you could
look
actually
everything.
and it was a time test still. So what we would do is spend the entire day before, and instead of studying like normal students, we would literally type the book into a Microsoft Word document. So then, because the questions were all word for word, so we would just Control F whatever the question was, and then we would have the answer.
You guys
got
are
100 every time.
You guys are geniuses.
I always
Your
tell
college
people,
degrees are gonna get
college
revoked.
Was all about me cheating the system. Like I told you, I photoshopped doctor's notes for me and my friends where we had pink eye because like. Who wants someone with pink eye?
Are you in the CIA? Are you in the FBI?
And it's great because like when you have the flu, you feel like when you go back, you kind of have to be like, oh,
Pink eye, you're fine.
Pink eye, it's just gone.
There's
and no one
two-
wants to be around you when you
yeah.
have it because ew.
There's 2 things that I recommend maybe you take advantage of if you're absolutely desperate. One of them is saying you have pink eye. The other one is saying you have diarrhea. No one's
gonna argue with that.
to talk about having diarrhea, but you better hold that in your back pocket because you don't want to be the person who's constantly pooping. You know what I mean? Like only use it when you have to because like to get out of a date. If you're on a date with someone and you're like, this is not going well, just be like, I'm so sorry I have diarrhea. They'll be like, great, let's never talk again. Let's literally never see each other again. I've been holding on to the diarrhea excuse for so many years.
You've never used it?
No, but I plan to use it when I need to, and I will. I'm just saying.
Whoever's watching, it gets used on one day and they're like, I saw the Overshare episode. I know what you're doing.
Have you guys ever used the diarrhea excuse? If so, share in the comment section, please. Or pink eye, that's also incredibly common.
It's just perfect because like it's very contagious, so no one wants to be around it, and then it goes away.
It's very true.
So I Googled what the medicine was, put the dosage down.
So FBI, CIA, crazy.
Yeah.
I've never done a science fair, but I was thinking after I asked that question, did you know about my like illustrious public speaking past? Okay, this is crazy. So my senior year of high school, as I was applying to colleges, I was applying everywhere like undeclared because I was just like, I don't know, I just know I want to go to a good school. But I don't know what I want to major in. So I started getting accepted, whatever, all that stuff. And second semester of high school, because I was truly a crazy person, most people are like, I'm gonna do a 4-period day. I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna chill out. I was like, I must get more like classes on my resume so that I could graduate with top honors. Why? No one knows, don't know. Anyways, so I decided to take all of these electives that were also educational for like more credits. Why? So I took like a speech writing class. The teacher was like,
if this is high school, I don't even think our high school offered that.
I didn't know until my senior year. So the teacher was like, honestly, why are you in this class? Most people in this class are trying to make up credits that they like failed English last year. He's like, so here's the thing. You could stay in this class, but you have to take it a step further. So he started entering me in all these local speech contests. And then I started winning them. And not only winning them, but winning straight up cash money, honey. I won so much money that year. Like in high school, I won like thousands of dollars, which in high school might as well be like $5 million.
Truly.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And that is the teacher who was like, honestly, Jocelyn, one of my best friends is a news anchor. You should get into TV. And I was like,
really?
I have found my calling. Lovely. And that's how it all
funny.
started. It all started. Maybe I should get back into that.
Public speaking? I'm pretty sure you're doing it.
That's what we're doing right now. But I remember the final line of my speech was the one that I won so many contests. People would cry. My parents were like, you're doing speech contests? Like, could we come to one? Because I would never tell anyone. I would just like drive myself to the local like Rotary Club meeting, give a speech, get some tears, take a check. That's the way it was. My dad was like, can we come watch you? And I was like, I guess. My dad came and I remember my parents sitting in the back being like, who are you? Because my final line of my speech was, in the words of JFK, ask not what this country can do for you. Ask what you can do for this country.
What
and then I would just like
speech
let
on?
it sit for a minute and then I'd be like, thank you.
and I'd get like standing ovations.
What was this?
I don't know. I can't remember.
That's fun. Oh my God. So
Oh my gosh.
Definitely public speaking has never been something I'm fond
Weird,
of.
because look what you're doing now.
No, I know. It was like called the 5th grade oratorical. And you would dress up as like, you pick like a historical character
Who
and
were
then
you?
like, or a short story.
Oh, you
So
wrote a short
everyone,
story.
no, or you like
Read
basically
it.
perform.
Okay, you performed
one,
it.
I guess. So everyone did, and I have pictures somewhere because Lawrence is next to me in like a very old timey, like with her hair curled. But you pick like a historical figure and then you read their biography as if you're them.
You're them. Hello.
So it'd be like, oh, I did that, and you have to kind of like act it out, and there's
Yeah.
props and stuff. So there, you would do it in front of the class, and then like a select
won.
few got to perform then in front of the school.
Crap.
I did it and like thought it was like it was very much like this is gonna be a disaster. And I ended up doing, I didn't want to dress up, so I think I ended up doing a short story, and it was something with what story is it where the like the sky is falling down, but it's actually like
Oh,
an apple
Chicken
fell,
Little?
maybe.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
Maybe, and they're like convincing people, I don't know. There's like a bunch of characters, but he goes and tells a
Yeah.
bunch of people the same thing, and there's like, so it was, and I think my mom helped me like decide like what I would
Yes.
act out, and it'd be like running and be like, the earth is falling down there. So I'm like jumping and doing stuff on stage, and apparently it went really well, and I got to perform in front of the whole school.
Really?
Which was traumatizing.
Yeah, but look how far you've come now. You're
But that's
performing in
another
front
thing.
of
Is, like,
millions.
I feel like there was a few contests, quote unquote, that I like entered because
other
like
kind
you
of
were
contest?
supposed to in class, and then it was like forgot about it, and then would win when they announced it like 3 months later.
All you do is win.
There,
All you do is win, win, win.
thank you.
What else did you win?
There
Tell me more.
was
Tell me
a
more.
stamp contest.
Oh Lord, what kind of stamps?
Where it was like you got like a piece of paper that was like in the shape of a giant like postage stamp.
Oh, and you draw it?
And it was like, it was in 2000. I was 10.
Oh my gosh, I was graduating from high school.
Because
That's neat.
the theme that you had to, and it was like not a required thing. It was like
End of the
pass
world.
it around. It was like the end of the
Mind
school
calendar.
day, and it was
The
like
world is ending.
they pass out around the papers like, hey, like everyone, if you want to enter this contest, like fill it out.
Yeah.
You can win, blah blah. So I do it, and it was the theme is like jumping into the new millennium or something was like the theme behind everything. Guess what my stamp was? A horse jumping out of the stamp and eating pudding.
Wasn't eating pudding at the same time.
And we forgot about it, and then 6 months went by, and it was like, guys, I don't know if you remember, but we did that stamp contest. She's like, Lily won! And I'm like, what?
Oh my gosh. Actually, now that you mentioned that, I once won the contest for designing my school yearbook. I drew a bald eagle and it made it on the cover.
I don't even know.
Oh, does this hair have a mind of its own? That's shocking. That's super shocking.
Oh, and I don't know.
What other contest did I win? Actually, I participated in a lot of things as well.
Another one that it was like, I just
Piano
kind of.
recitals.
Oh. One that I kind of just like did and then found out later, and it was like, I remember they were announcing like the top 3, and it was like the teacher decided who won, and it was like third, like the second runner-up, blah blah, and then they get to the top one, and it was me, and it was a writing competition, and it was that they gave you a picture, and then you had to write a story based on
are
what.
you?
I don't know,
You're such a little creative genius.
but then I never wrote
sponge.
anything again.
You've never written since.
Like this-
Never.
I
She went
retired.
on to never write again. What about getting in trouble?
I was such a teacher's, but I was the kid that would be like, they tell you what to do, and I'd like go do it in like my really neat handwriting, and then go up and like, did I do it right? Because like I knew
You're
I did
such
it
a
right, but I just
suck up.
needed like the validation.
Yeah. Have I ever told you about the time I got in like a lot of trouble? I got in a lot of trouble at elementary school.
What's a lot of?
Oh,
What's a lot of trouble in elementary school?
I got sent to the office like multiple
Did you have somewhere
times.
where you got sent like as like a designated area? Like for us, if you didn't do your homework, you had to go sit on the wall during recess.
Oh my gosh. No, ours was like far worse.
And then everyone could see, so it was like all the bad kids sitting on the wall.
No, I went to a private school that was like very strict, and like you would get in trouble for everything. So I feel like I really got all of my troublemaking out of my system at a young age. But when I was in 5th grade, I had a teacher who was like the worst. And my parents, who are both educators, were like, Jocelyn, you're complaining constantly about your teacher. Like, you know, you need to give us more concrete information. So guess what Judy Davis does? My mom. She's like, Jaws, what I really want you to do is start writing down everything she does so that we can keep track of it. So what did I do? sitting there at my 5th grade desk in my perfect cursive, because we only could write in cursive, I took out a piece of my college ruled paper, and at the top I wrote, "Things Mrs. blah, blah, blah does that I hate." And then I underlined it, and I wrote my name in the corner with my year and the whole thing. And then I started writing down all these things. She never teaches us. I ask her questions, she does not answer. She yells all the time. I haven't learned anything this year. And then she walks over and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I told her this, "I'm writing a letter to a friend that lives out of state." She snatches the paper away from me, and this is what she says. She goes, "Soon enough, everyone at this school is going to know what a bad little girl you are." And I was like, "What?" So she sends me.
Did she put you in the choky?
Yes. So she sends me to the office at my Christian school, and the principal, family friend, ding, the principal goes, "Oh, Jocelyn, this is so sad. Let's pray about it." And I was like, "Oh, this is not going well." So then my parents get called. My dad, by the way, is a high school principal. My mom's a teacher. They work in education. My dad was just like, "I've had enough." Basically, my parents came home and were like, "Jocelyn, you need to do better. You need to be better," because they were always
But your
like,
mom told you to do
publicly. My dad was like, "Your mom made a huge mistake. She should have never told you to do that." But they would never like sell each other out or the teacher out to me. Let me just tell you, next year, guess whose contract didn't get renewed? Bow, bow, bow. That's what happens when you pay for
Jocelyn got a teacher fired.
Yeah, and it's so funny. We went on strike in her class one day.
How old were you?
10. We were far too confident. One of my girlfriends, who you might have met before, she got suspended by the handbell teacher. We were very bad kids. But honestly, we were doing it out of a sense of like justice.
I didn't ever really get in trouble much, but I did, and I don't even want to say ditch class because like my teachers would let me leave, but because I was friends, like I'd make friends with the teachers, and then it would be a lot of the classes that like either we aren't doing anything, we're watching a movie, or it's like
I was just like, "This is stupid, let me out of
well,
here."
and they knew it was stupid too. So then literally, I'd be like, especially one of the my econ teacher. And like he did like a bunch of the history classes. Like it was not, he just would put on movies. He was the guys basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Donahue, I TA'd for him and then I had him the next period. So he would let me leave during the TA period. And then as long as I go get him food.
Right, of
So I'd like
course.
go
Yeah.
get a bagel or like coffee or something for him. And then I wouldn't have to come back till the end of my next class. So I had like a 2-hour break every day.
Lovely.
Somehow me and my friend Gabby convinced the school to let us both TA for him. He didn't need one TA, much less two. So we would go together. We'd go to Denny's usually. And then we also made friends with the parking attendant in the parking lot. So he would drive us to our car in his golf cart.
Oh,
and he'd be
lovely.
like, "If anyone asks, we're looking for your keys." And then we'd bring him back something too.
Yeah, that was the security guard at my high school actually ended up getting in a ton of trouble because we had a closed campus. We weren't
Same.
allowed to leave.
Like he was like the person
He was
blocking
bright.
it. And then we would like get on his golf cart and he would
Yeah, like
take us
our
up.
guy, what was his name? It was like
We had
Derek.
John.
He would he would basically bribe people. He'd be like, "I'll let you leave if you bring me McDonald's."
100%.
Or something. I'm like, how is this guy like so hungry? Like people would bring him so much food all the time.
Literally, we'd go up and we'd be like, "Hey, John, the usual," and he'd be like,
Get me some In and Out.
It was great.
What about like what group were you in?
"Oh, well, and even you said,
Like were you part of a stereotype group?
stereotype-wise, did you have like the senior superlative?" So
Oh
it's
yeah,
like-
what was yours? Did you get one?
I didn't, but I was the runner-up for least seen on campus.
Oh, guess what mine was? Do you know? It's so
Most gullible.
Everybody else is like, I got like best laugh.
In 8th grade, I got best
funniest."
hair.
Oh,
'Cause
so
I had-
you're still
I had-
killing it.
Actually, it's ironic because I always have had a variety of hairstyles because in 6th grade, even like I would wake up and blow dry my hair every morning. Like I don't do that
Oh yeah, when
now.
I was that young, I used to get up like at least get ready for an hour with my Clinique
Well, I mean,
makeup.
an hour's not that long. Like, that's like what I did now.
Oh,
Before it was
now.
like 2 hours. Like I need to look for a picture,
hours?
but it was like I got my hair cut and it was like it was that trendy
That
little
little
flipped
boot
out. That, like I think
situation?
Sarah Michelle Gellar had
Yeah.
it maybe. And then after that, going into 8th grade, I cut it all off and added spiky in the
Of
back.
course. Yes,
because a
we've all
girl that
seen
was a year
those.
older than me had it and she won best hair. And I remember that's when I saw it and I was like, ooh, I want to do that. And
That
I was
was
like,
very-
fucking cut it off. And then I did it.
But what like group were you in? Like you were cool. You were popular. Let's be real.
I was friends with a lot of different people, so I feel like I had like
You would
my
bounce around.
ASB group, but then I had like my going out group.
I feel like, yeah, I had like all my like class friends, like my study group friends. But we were all kind of like just in this like big meshed group. But I would say it was like mostly like athletes, ASB.
I played basketball too, so it was like
I did cheer. I mean, glory days. Huh?
Wow.
I just remember being like, this is some drama. I got to get out of here. By the time I graduated from high school, most of my senior year, I was just like, when is this over?
I was always frustrated because I
When is this
had
over?
my going out friends, but then I had my friends I've known forever, and those were the ones I would hang out with more like every day. But then like they would get mad if I would go hang out with the other group of people, and it was just a lot of being pulled in a lot of directions.
Let me give you guys some advice. If you are watching this and you are in high school, if you are in junior high,
Nothing matters that much.
If you are even in college, do not peak too soon. Do not peak when you are a teenager. Absolutely not.
I don't think you can choose when you peak.
No. You can. Because if you are that weird old person who's still coming back to high school parties or college parties, when you are like going super great, like your girl right now, like those are the people who peak too soon. So if you're a person who you're like, I'm not cool enough, I'm not achieving my dreams, I'm not doing this X, Y, and Z, you're gonna peak later and it's so much better. Lil, do you have any advice to give to people who are going back to school?
I mean, in general, I feel like it seems like so obviously it's like everything right now and it's such like your world. But now I'm
Totally.
like, I'm 29 and I live relatively close near where I went to high school. So I still see a lot of people and it's so not like, it's the only time high school comes up now is just like, if there's a connection to someone that I already know. It's not like anyone is still like, I don't even remember any of the drama that happened in high school.
And I've seen a lot of people reposting this thing on Instagram where it's like, I don't know the exact wording. Basically, like if you see someone who's having a hard time, whether you're like 8 or 22, if you see someone who's being bullied or having like a rough time, just like go and be nice to them.
Yeah.
Because life is too short, honestly. And like everybody's got their things they're going through, whether they're like the quote unquote cool kids or nerdy kids or whatever stereotypes being placed upon them. And like, you know, everyone's going through something. Just be nice to each other.
Everyone's weird. Everyone has.
I hope
like,
so.
If you're not, then like that's weird.
Yeah.
But I think that like, don't only be friends with people that like seem exactly like you. I feel like as you get older, you like start being friends with people that you never would have associated with in your friend group in high school. And you're like, oh my God, they bring so much more to my life that I wouldn't have even had before. So I think just like nothing's that serious and just be nice to everyone.
Exactly. Wow, Lils, look at us serving up morsels of information right here on Overshare. It's been an amazing season 1. We've had like some of the most incredible, mind-blowing.
Should we put in some of our favorite moments?
Yes, please.
Roll the clip.
Thank you for sharing.
Wow, that was weird.
Thank you for sharing.
She reacted pretty terrified.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh, I love that. That made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
I feel very like NPR.
It's like, I feel like we're in a cult.
Did you?
Thank you for sharing.
Oh, wow. Am I part of the cult now?
Yes. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like make me join your cult. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Thank you for sharing.
Thanks for letting me share.
Good reaction. Come on,
And congrats to you guys again.
Thank you for sharing.
Does anyone else get what that's from?
Someone was like, you should just say like, thank you for being here today, like Princess Diaries. I was like, but that would be the Princess Diaries. We need our
the
own
parody of
thing.
not
Thank
yeah.
you for sharing. We're not even doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, but this would be a little too aggressive,
Thank
I
you
think.
for
Also, I don't know.
But is
if
it
anyone
creepy?
would
Do you
get
like it?
Thank you for sharing.
You really braced
So
yourself
scared. I was
as
like,
if we were gonna beat you.
Thanks for sharing, bitch.
Jesse.
No, please.
Thank you for sharing.
That is literally no don't close to me. Ew.
One last thing.
Oh, yeah. Can I say it with you?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh my God! I'm a true stan. I love it.
Well, I need a nap, so.
I do too. You guys, please subscribe. Please keep us in business, and please stay tuned because season 2, it's going to be straight fire. Season
What she
2 can
said.
get it.
Yeah, that. It's coming soon.
Bye.